begin running my export script, which, oh, I forgot to actually open my script or run my function. This export script where I have this function in here, because I already ran this function, I basically my process for getting my data together is just go in, export it, click this one function, and then start over. This basically appends the file that's in this specific location with to the file that I say it should. So this is going to my silver sheet right now. So I just do that over and over, and then once my file is set, I have a bunch of stuff, and we go through that once I get to that point. But I have a bunch of like summary statistics and modeling and stuff like that. So, okay, yeah, I did export. So 76. Wait a second. Did I do the same one twice? Am I an idiot? Oh no, I started 72, then 76. Okay. Yeah, okay. So we're doing it right. Yeah, so I'm going to export these, like, 10 silver quicks from today. Then I was going to, like, look at this data. I had thought, I really need to get that fixed. I want to export the stuff from the weekend because I want to see how different the environment is from this weekend, which I know we've been told it's not different, but like at least in my head it feels different. So I want to actually like see if I'm trying to make up a story to explain things or if there actually is something different between this weekend and today. Like maybe it could just be the ratings of the cards people are playing are just better now. Like it could very well just be as simple as that. But it feels like a drastic change, at least offhand. We have another silver quick. We're in the last game of the finals of shortly, so we'll have some more data to add in just a minute. Sorry, I'm gonna be forever frustrated while that thing pops up. Yeah, as I said, I mean, a lot of people, like, I'm basically doing it the easy way. So there were ways I could do it to have better data, but I decided to basically, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 84, let's see, yep, so at the 6th one. I'm basically deciding to get a little bit less data for ease of doing things because like I'm not getting the fielding data because you would want to export like a different export for each position, and I just really don't want to bother with that. It's just too much stuff that I wouldn't be doing this if I had to do all that. So I'm basically trying to optimize the like give and take between doing too much and doing too little, or doing too much and getting better data, or doing too little and getting bad data. Like the more I could be like in the middle of like I don't get, it'll take this much time to get a very little benefit. I'm just trying to like maximize that like cost reward right there. I think I'm at 86. But yeah, it'll be more fun once I actually get the data in and we can actually start looking at stuff. I also just want to find out if, yeah, exactly. I also just really want to find out if I'm playing the right cards or not. Because it'd be funny if, like, I've just been, like, playing completely wrong cards. All right, so this is 86. So 2 more after this one. We have the other one that should be wrapping up momentarily. So we'll bring those in. Yeah, wow, I had a lot of first round exits today, huh? I did just win one, and I am about to prize in another. So, like, again, I mean, these are non-variant. Well, I mean, they are variant, but there's not very many being played yet. So, like, it makes sense that, like, the win rates are probably on the general lower end of, like, what the top might be like at another point this year. So let's see. This one is simming right now. We should have, hopefully we get a win right here. But we'll export this regardless of what happens. Come on, hoping for a good one. Give me another win. Nice. Glad to see it. 2 wins in a row. Sweet. 2-3. Late game comeback. Homer Bailey looking good. Awesome. So let's stick this one into the data set. Let's see, this is 90, so let's go 90 down. So I know where things go. So then I have all my data in. This is just my, like, oh wait, I have to export the new card list first. But yeah, so, like, this is just my, like, bring in the tournament, fix the date time, just some weird Excel thing. Update innings pitch to be the right format. Then I have my WOBA weights. I calculate them myself. This is kind of the shortcut. It's not exactly WOBA weights because I don't have the run states data, because that sounds like literally the worst thing to try and calculate. So this was like a shortcut that I found online, and I know a lot of other people use. Here's me calculating a FIP constant. And then this is something I added late last year, where because we have hidden triples modifier, I tried to pull real life triples data from the Lamin data set to, like, try and see if that can be, like, a substitute hidden triples rating. And it's actually made stuff a lot better. So I was using this just for that as well. Then I have this, like, hitting summary. So this is just the raw data. So again, I didn't clean my data through gyms, so, like, there's probably some bad data here. But that's something that should wash out the more I get. Again, that's the whole diminishing returns. I just don't want to spend that much time to try and figure this stuff out. So wait, I want to look at so this is the big thing. So let's, yeah, this one. So what the overall stats look like. Oh yeah, this is, yeah, okay. This looks so different from yesterday. Huh. Fascinating. Fascinating, because when I looked at the first few Silver Quicks a couple of days ago, it was, like, very, very different. So it's pretty nice to see that the numbers have normalized to much closer of where I would expect them to be. Yeah. So, and we've even gotten to the fun stuff yet. So, again, it's super early. So, like, the data is not going to be good, and I don't really trust my model too much. Let's see. So, if I do 250 plate appearances, 250 plate appearances maximum, I can. Yeah, so strikeouts were way up, BABIP was way down. Because my theory had been that Quicks were suffering the same issue as League, where League was in 2024. It felt like tournaments were in a similar environment. The official word is that tournaments are the same. Tournaments have been 2010 the whole time, but it just didn't feel right. Again, I want to pull the weekend data, like all of my weekend data, which is like a couple dozen quicks to compare, because I don't want to make any like grand statements until actually looking at the data, because maybe I just like looked at a few. There's also some things like I should also pull the actual ratings of players that were being played to see if like there's actually been like a change in the actual players that have been playing since the weekend. But yeah, so let's see. Let's run through. So yeah, so first thing, this is just kind of creating some extra variables. We could do, let's see, 250 minimum. This is updating the card list, which I have to work on because I don't have the variant calculation numbers yet, which is a little frustrating. But so this is definitely not exactly where I want it to be, but it's at least close enough. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I'm just saying that, like, at least from observing, today's Quicks numbers look very normal. They look to be what I would expect Quicks in the normal modern environment to be like. And at least over the weekend, it was not feeling like that. But again, I haven't looked at things, in the data as deeply yet. That's more of just like a feels kind of thing. And I want to be able to, go beyond the feels a little bit. So then, once I get everything together, I have my model script. So whenever you model, you should. Also, I'm realizing I should probably take this VOD to share with folks. So let's not forget to do that. But this. So like whenever you model, whenever you do data, first thing you should do is look at the distributions, because there's no reason to model unless you know what the data looks like. I started working on this beginning of last cycle. I was doing just observational stats and like looking at the raw data early, and then I started building the model over time. So this is on the x-axis. This is just what players' actual I rating is. Weighted. By weighted, it's just a plate appearance weighted between VR and VL, just to kind of get a reasonable approximation. Ideally, I would be using splits data and not even caring about like overall data, and just trying to model VR and VL stats and not care about the overall. But because I can't, I have to do these approximations. So as you can see, it's very linear between I and walk rate, which you'd expect, right? So I know that I'm pretty comfortable doing just like a regular, just linear model in the predictions here. But I have a few model specifications. I've tried this plat difference, which is basically, I was trying to figure out where my model was missing most compared to the actual observed data. and I figured that like weirdly splitty guys were maybe impacting that. So I wanted to try like maybe an interaction between like an interaction between like like how wide the platoon is with like what side they bat. And I think it improved the fit a little bit. It probably doesn't matter too much. Like we could look at what the R squareds are. So like the base model, again, the sample sizes are pretty small. So like obviously I'm not expecting it to be amazing fits. And yeah, like it doesn't add too much. So I'm probably just gonna use my regular M1. But then I also have like segmented model, which is useful later on because I think the actual engine that is done in the background is a piecewise linear model. So like slopes change at different parts of the rating scale, but we might not have gotten to that point yet. It doesn't look like we're really seeing anything piecewise at this point. So I think I'm probably just going to, at least at this point, just use my regular linear model. So yeah, so then these will lead to my WOBA calculations that I do at the end. So we could like quickly just go through and look at the like what the distributions look like. So this is one of the ones that we saw this happening a lot this year, and it's one of the things that like people sometimes struggle to get. So obviously strike rates aren't going up there, and we don't have that much data on the high end, but I am pretty comfortable saying that there are diminishing returns with strikeout rate. So once you start getting above, 110, 120, that avoid K is almost kind of wasted. You're really not getting that much benefit. Now, of course, higher ratings are always better, but for lower level cards like bronzes or silvers, if they have higher points somewhere, they're losing points elsewhere. So, I usually, if a card is a super high rating in one place, it's probably lower in other places. So this is to say, if you're looking at a card where the difference is like, one card has 50 power and 110 avoid K, and the other card has, 50 power and 150 avoid K, and another card has 70 power and 110 avoid K, I'd much rather have the 70 power 110 avoid K player than the 50 power 150 avoid K player, which even though there might be more points on the 50-150, the diminishing returns after a certain point just make those kind of wasted points. So K rate, it's kind of a weird fit, but it's kind of polynomial, but I don't like that because it's not actually doing that there. I think I'm probably just going to keep linear, as I said, maybe it's correct. What does a segmented one do? Probably the segmented one is the correct one. But I also still don't particularly love that. Yeah, I mean, it says the best fit. Yeah, I'm just going to do the M1 segmented for now. So then home runs. What does home runs look like? Yeah, so again, there's not much difference between, when you have low power, you have low power. You may as well have just a 1 power player being the same as a 30 power player, but again, that would mean those points go elsewhere. So, one of the things, again, if you're looking at a player that has 5 power and 150 I compared to a player that has 20 power and 100 I, it's just not as different as you would expect. And maybe that was a bad example. I think I messed up my math a little bit, but basically, yes, that's one of the things where it's the diminishing returns do, they are relevant. So I think, yeah, I kind of like this one being the piecewise linear. So, yeah, actually, no, the second one. So this one is the M4. That's with the plat difference. Yeah, okay. So we'll do this one. I have a few other where I was testing out some other model fits just because it kind of made more sense, but it never actually did what I wanted to do, so I just didn't bother. So then we have BABIP, where again it's early. I really don't have enough data. If I had better data, I would see a better relationship. Also with gyms, it kind of gets in the way. So, these models I'm very not confident in, but it's enough to get kind of a really early picture of things. But yeah, I'm just going to do the regular linear model for this one. And then gap power with extra base hits. Again, same kind of thing. You'd expect a very linear relationship there. But of course, that one doesn't matter too much. It matters more. Wait, no, just kidding. I do want to do that one first. And then, so remember when I said I got that triples modifier? Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not great so far. This one here, this is just the league triples modifier. This is the average because I needed to assign the people I couldn't get enough data from the Lamin data set. But in general, you could see kind of a positive, correlation there. It's not great, but it's better than whatever it looked like before. So I had a polynomial before. I think I just, why did I have a polynomial for speed? That's weird. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So now I have a triples percentage and an extra base hit percentage. And then what I do to start calculating WOBAs is I calculate things per 60. So to do that, I go based on the order of operations. So in the basically by order of operations in the game, when the engine decides what's going to happen for a plate appearance, it rolls. It's does this thing happen or does this thing happen? The first roll that happens is walks. At least of I think hit by pitch is somewhere, but the major things it's so the walk roll goes first. So that's a very relevant thing because it means players with higher I basically takes out of the largest amount of potential coin flips. So I calculate walks first. After I get walks, I could get at bats. Strikeout and home run then come at the same time. All this is just kind of what I've been told. I don't have anything to prove that, but a lot of people that have been playing the game for a while have brought that up as a how things work. So home runs and strikeouts happen at the same time. So that's why I calculate those from the same at-bat percentage. From there, then I could decide, well, if it's not a strikeout and it's not a home run, it's got to be a ball in play. So then from there, I can calculate the balls in plays based on subtracting out home runs and strikeouts. And then from there, I can calculate out of X balls in play, how many times do those balls in play go for extra base hits. Then I could split that into triples and doubles, and then from there, figure out getting the singles. Then that's all that's left were balls in play that didn't go for balls in play that didn't end up going for hits. So I calculate all these per 600 stats. I then am able to calculate WOBA from that. I then have, using the VR and the VL ratings, so I can get splits. And then from there, I'd merge with the card list, and then boom, I have a model. So these are my modeled wobas based on this silver environment. So again, it's not perfect, and I don't expect it to be perfect. There's a lot of, you know, I'm just trying to do what I can, but this is generally, and like just by the eye test, this looks pretty good. Like it says John Vanderwall is the best VR hitter in silver, which makes complete sense to me. It has Gates Brown up there, it has Jeff McNeil up there. The new Jock Peterson is pretty high, which is nice. Um, but yeah, so this is kind of my process of modeling and doing it. I know people have been requesting a video like this, so I'm probably, well, I am. I'm gonna get this and post this on YouTube for folks to watch. If you're not someone on stream and, on this impromptu video, yeah. If, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Yeah, so this is kind of my process of creating data and modeling for Perfect Team. But yeah, so cool. So I do have this data, which is very nice. And as I said, I'm feeling pretty good about this too. Yeah, and the other thing is, so Mortalis, a lot of the thing, like, there are a lot of people in the game that I have a lot of respect for, that they have their models, and, they want to use that for their own advantage. And, like, I get that, I respect that. I personally think the game is more interesting when, I think the game is more interesting when more people are competitive, and I really don't have any problem sharing these things.